This week on the Push Pull Legs podcast, let's hear all about my trip to Antarctica and is fitness CPD dying a slow death?
And 3, 2, 1, it's 2026.
Hey guys, welcome to the Push Pull Legs podcast. Myself, Damik.
And me, Tom Hall. What's going on, buddy? Long time.
Oh, good. Yeah, it's been a while, hasn't it? You survived the Antarctica.
I
The
have
Antarctica. No, I
the
said the
Antarctica.
Antarctica. Antarctica. It's just called Antarctica, isn't it? Survived. Didn't get frozen.
No, it didn't get frozen. What was quite interesting whilst we were there um, was most of the time we got some relatives that live in Boston, and they were like messaging back and forwards with Chloe, and it was cold. It was colder there. It's colder there than in
Really?
Antarctica. Obviously, what we have to remember, even though it is that far south and that far away, it was the summer down there, which was a
Ah,
bit of a different because you're not really going in the winter, mate. No, it's not a
can
nice
imagine.
place to be.
Oh,
Not a
yeah.
nice
Unless you're a
place.
penguin.
Unless you're a penguin, which they are there. So, mate, so all the penguins.
Did you get to touch a penguin or get close to a penguin?
We got close to penguins, like.
Didn't run after one. Not quick enough to run after one. Carry on.
We're not allowed. You'd be
Pussy.
probably
Pussy.
like absolutely like you'd be thrown off the boat, mate. You'd
Ah,
be
you
put
pussies.
in you'd be put in like boat prison.
Bone prison. Yeah.
If you went and touched the penguins. Yeah, that'd been cool. But I learned
Mm.
it was fun. What a fucking experience though. Like really, really cool. For a normal human like me to be able to go and explore and like go down there and see all this shit. Just absolutely like much similar when you went on safari, right? It's just like a fuck.
Yeah.
This is crazy. And like really, I think humbling and really like fuck this. You are so insignificant in the world.
That's the thing for me was that was for me it was like you start asking those like bigger questions of like why do we work and why do we do these? Do you
Yeah,
know like why is the world
literally.
the way it is? Like you're like what is going on? Like why that's what I found myself doing the whole time when I was there with these rangers and I was just like you guys like you fucking must just live the dream and but again they speak to them and they go well yeah but at some point it's just a job for them I guess to a certain degree and the same for those guys maybe on the boat is like
Yep.
I feel like with that though, that it must never feel real and normal. It must always be a little bit unique and magic, that sort
Well,
of
yeah,
job.
what got me, right? So give an instance of like I don't know, little show and tell on the boat, right? So you've got it's fully like staffed out, but you've got kind of maybe 15, 20 expedition leaders who have all got specialist subjects in certain things. So there was this guy called Sean who is a professor of like whales, basically. And he's like shit hot, like has won like some I don't know, documentary stuff on it, all his research on whales, and he's there doing research. And there's all this other stuff. There's people who have like climbed all 7 peaks, who is a mountaineering expert, and there's a person who's like, oh, I'm the bird guy, I know everything about albatrosses and all this kind of shit, and like,
Mm.
I'm the ice guy, I'm the super kayak man, all this kind of stuff. But they're all there on these boats. But every single time something was happening, so we'd get alerted if like, oh, there's a batch of humpback whales, like everybody out on the deck to try and see them, blah blah blah. They're all blowing up here, or like, oh shit, there's loads of elephant seals on this like rockery. Everybody's there. Like all the expedition people are out straight away. They're all out
Mm.
there going, wow, this is amazing. Look at that fucking iceberg. Look at that massive amount of sheet ice. This is so cool. Oh, that's just like pristine. And they're all like absolutely loving it. That was what was cool for me. It was like these
It's
guys,
crazy.
these are their job, and they do this every season and doing whatever, but they're still absolutely in awe of the place and what's happening and all that kind of stuff. Like to the extent like we there was a whale like interaction that we had. I filmed it was like a pod of like 15 orcas were like chasing and harassing a humpback, and then two fin whales like came to try to protect the humpback apparently. And then they were like, but it was happening for like half an hour. It was probably going on for like 2 hours. We were just seeing a little bit of it. And then the lad Sean, he did like a lecture on it, a little talk on it, like the day after, because you got to kind of have a response. So there were lectures throughout the day, which was a really cool, like learning experience of all this kind of
Yeah, yeah.
stuff. And he was like, Yeah, I've never seen those interactions before. He's like, and I've been studying this for 35
That's
years.
mad.
Like, he was like, that was a different interaction for me because there was a type A and a type B orca, and like those guys don't normally mix together very well. And then like this was happening, and he was like, well, we don't know whether they were just harassing it or whether they were trying to kill it or whether they'll do this. It was hard to tell. So blah blah blah. And I've certainly not seen fin whales try to what look like defend people, defend other whales. So yeah, super interesting. But yeah, it was just really cool to see the expedition people get excited. And once they were getting excited, I was like, all right, it's time to get excited about whatever's happening. We're just like, oh, it
Yeah,
just must happen all the time, right? You guys must see these whales all the time, just doing
yeah, yeah.
everything. So it's really cool. Really, really cool. Saw loads of cool wildlife. So, yeah, it was a kind of a cross between, if anybody ever goes, I encourage them. It's like a cross between whether you're there to like properly see like the wildlife all happening around you, because they're just like happening, right? They don't give a shit whether you're there or not. Um, and the grandeur of where you are, just looking around and going, there's a fucking giant mountain with a shit ton of ice, and like this absolutely massive glacier, and like this iceberg, which is bigger than Britain, that's just floating around. And you're like,
Just
okay,
float under
cool.
that, yeah, just floating around.
Yeah, it's just like,
Yeah.
all right, that's just chilling. And you're like, fuck me. Yeah, absolutely incredible. Did you know Antarctica doubles in size in the winter? Doubles in size. Like crazy. The amount of ice that freezes over and
Well,
then
yeah, that makes
retracts.
sense. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I don't know. I was learning loads of shit.
yeah.
It's
I'm
fun.
surprised the UK doesn't double in size. Fucking hell. What you're going through right now, -6 or whatever it is, 7 degrees.
Mm.
I think.
-5 where I am. Um, the London bubble.
Mm.
It did
Yeah,
snow
no,
though
that's
today.
that's
But
crazy. What was the animal that when you saw it you were like most impressed by?
um,
Not even by the size, but even just like just in general, like what were you like excited about seeing when you saw it?
so excited about seeing two things. I'm a big. I mean, people didn't know this about me. I'm a whale guy. I used to be obsessed with whales when I was younger. Had like the book that I'd read through all the whales and stuff. So I was most looking forward to looking for whales. So that was fun.
Mm.
And seeing like a humpback whale do the whole fin and dive and splash and
Yeah,
go
yeah, yeah.
there. So I want to do that in like Cape Cod and stuff like that and actually be in like like a little boat right next to the whales. That would be more fun because we didn't really see them when we were in the Zodiacs and then the driving around. We saw like the penguins were cool, don't get me wrong, but like the first day of seeing a penguin, awesome. Like, oh, I ran out to the balcony, seeing penguins, doing everything. I didn't realize they did this when there was like 25 like penguins on like an ice sheet ice thing like that. And then like, I was like, oh my God. And apparently I whistled on the video and then I got so many messages just like burst out laughing because you were just whistling at them like they were dogs. To like, come over here.
Yeah, like they're just
But
gonna come over and just be like, "Yeah, cheers,
it
Tom.
just
I'll come over. Yeah,
just
you got your
came out of my
food."
mouth. I
Yeah,
was just like, what am I doing? Penguins are cool, but I did think like because they obviously know the expedition people know exactly where to go see the penguins because they all
mm,
go to the same place, the rookeries, all the time, whereas the whales are all moving around all the time,
yeah.
constantly, so they're a little bit harder to spot, I guess. Um, so yeah, the penguins after you've seen a whole penguin rookery kind of seeing all the penguin rookeries, if I'm honest.
I suppose.
It's
Yeah.
cool seeing different types, but yeah, I was like, it was cooler seeing them like on the like sheet ice and the floating ice and stuff like that. And I didn't know there was so many different types of ice. That's crazy. Learning all
There
about
you go.
icebergs and all this kind of shit. Very crazy. Yeah, that was fun. I think the whales, mate. The whales
The
are my favorite.
whales.
But what was interesting though is obviously like at the start of the trip, I was like dead excited. We're going through Drake's Passage, which is so we had it very calm, and I still felt seasick. And it was calm, and it was 3 meter swells, which
Mm,
is like obviously if anybody know what that is, the boat is the wave is going up and down by 3 meters, so reasonably like a lot. But apparently that can get up to like 8, 9, 10 meter swells, which is like ridiculous, like going up and down. But I was like outside with binoculars the whole time. I was that much of a nerd. I had binoculars on the whole time
Yeah,
I was
I
there.
can completely understand that.
I was just like, people, and then when we were outside, people didn't have them on, and then they were like, we're spotting whales, and like the whale guy's like, what the fuck? Why have none of you got binoculars? I was like, I have. But there's a whole batch of 20 of us out there like watching stuff. And I was like, you guys are, you don't know if you're going to come here again. You might as well get a good view of everything. Like, have the fucking binoculars. They give you these like Swarovski like binoculars to have. Binoculars are expensive. I Googled
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
I Googled what they were like worth. Swarovski binoculars. I couldn't take them home, obviously.
Oh yeah.
Mm. Yeah, the ones we had were 3 grand.
Ooh.
Yeah, crazy. The Swarovski ones can be like, yeah, anywhere between like 1,500 quid to about 4 grand you can buy them for. Absolutely insane.
It's a lot in it.
It's expensive pair of binoculars. I was
Yeah.
like, fucking hell, just get some shitty pair of Amazon. Like, fine, 50 quid, bosh. What more does it do? But apparently a lot. But yeah,
Clearly.
crazy. But it was fun. It was very fun. What was interesting though, we did meet quite a few other people on honeymoons, which was good because you can kind of guess the people on that. There's about 200, 250 like patrons on that boat, and yeah, there is the median age apparently was quite low for a cruise, whatever it is. But I feel like cruises are very much like American-y things to do.
Mm.
Um, but the median age was 60 years old.
Mhm.
Obviously, that's low. Apparently, they were saying that's low. Um,
I don't know if that makes that sad that you went, that you're really sad for going or not, or if you're just a pioneer.
pioneering for the youth,
I think it's the former though. I think you're just sad, Tom.
probably.
I think you're just an old man.
But the thing is, you can't. The thing, yeah, the weird one is like the people that are there because it's a currently it is still a very costly thing. Hence why we went on our honeymoon. It's not just a regular holiday
Yeah.
kind of thing. It's like it's expensive. So like everybody that can afford it, unfortunately, are entitled white middle class, like older Americans, um,
Yeah.
who are there. So which is a weird group to spend some time with. We did meet some cool people who are our age, obviously, who are also there on
Yeah.
honeymoons and stuff. So we weren't the youngest people on the cruise.
You
We met some
weren't.
like 24-year-olds, 23-year-olds who
Mm.
were there with their parents. When do you stop going on? When did you last stop going on holiday with your parents?
Once I left home.
I think I did as well. I was the same.
Yeah, at
Yeah,
the age of 18, when I went to uni, I never went away with my parents.
same.
Mm.
And like a family trip, but
Mate, a
does
week
go
of
to see
Christmas is
family.
enough for me. I don't need any more than that.
Exactly. Yeah. I was like, weird. They were like 23, 24, graduated, just graduating like uni or college, and they're
Mm.
on a Christmas cruise with their parents. Interesting.
Well, hey, if they're paying for it.
Yeah, they obviously the parents were paying for it,
Yeah,
so
that's what I
I'd be
mean.
like,
People,
yeah, of course, yeah, cool.
sort of trip, innit?
Yeah. So yeah, it was very fun. I think, yeah, would I do it again? I think so. I think the experience is different the whole time because it was changing all the time. They were like, this is what the plan is, but the plan could be on plan H by the time we wake up because of all the weather systems that
Mm.
kind of roam around. But it was very fun. Highly recommend it. Are you good with seasickness?
No.
Mm. So that's the only issue. It's
Yeah.
even though it was like I thought I'd be fine, but I still got a little bit seasick across Drake's Passage, and apparently it
Yeah.
was tame as fuck.
I have to like take those anti-sickness tablets anytime I go out on it. Just like no.
But once you get down there, you're fine. Once you're in the peninsula, it's absolutely easy as anything.
Is it?
Like, yeah, it's not wavy at all because you're kind of like shielded from everything. So
Mm.
for when you go, mate, you need to fly. You can fly into King George Island and then get a boat from there.
Right. When I go.
Mm.
Might not go.
We went to Buenos Aires, which was fun. Ate the best steak in the world, apparently, which was also fun. Why is this Zoom?
You love the zoom in thing, don't you?
There we go. It just
You can turn it
makes
off,
me
because I got given the option to turn it on and I turned it off. You need to go into
yeah.
your Zoom settings
I think
somehow and find it.
I need to turn it off. But
Yeah, you can definitely turn it off.
yeah.
Believe me.
Anyway, but on the back end of that, mate, I've had the worst flu of my life, so that was fun.
Yeah, maybe you're
Real
just at
fun,
that age now, Tom, where flu kind of like knocks you out for a
mate.
bit.
Absolutely done. Yeah. Literally, me and Chloe were like, so we're having flu jabs. We've reached the age. We're going to do our
Oh,
flu jabs next year. Definitely, mate. I'm like, obviously it's free over here. So it's just like, okay, fine, of course. But people are like, I'm not old. You know, yeah, it's fine. I'm like, I don't what's the negative? I don't understand. I'm not going to get as bad a flu. Sign me up. Um,
probably gonna inject some chips into you or something like that.
that's
Some,
it, innit? Yeah.
do you know what I mean? They're gonna track you all over the world, mate. So
Big flu's going to get me. That's
yeah,
exactly
big,
what's
big.
coming.
That's it. Big flu's coming for you.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I do not want to feel like that again. Absolute death. No fun.
Yeah, feeling ill is not good fun, is it? It's weird. I went back. I was back in the UK for a week. And I just did not sleep well at all. Like really odd. Like I'm at that age now where I think it's fucking like say like the wrong fucking pillow or mattress. All of a sudden, I'm like, oh, I'm not really sleeping very well. I was like, fuck me, like it's bad, isn't it? That's bad. When you can't sleep probably because you not got the right fucking pillow. Oh dear, that's how I know I'm getting old. Yeah, it's funny. But yeah, no, it's good to be back. It was probably as cold as Antarctica, to be fair. Certainly felt it anyway. Um, so yeah, that was fun. But yeah, nowhere near as impressive as your
Well,
little jaunt.
once in a lifetime. Yeah, it was fun. 11 days
Yeah,
Antarctica, and then was it 5 days of Buenos Aires, and then I was in Honduras for 8 9 days. But
yeah.
that's not as extravagant as it sounds in Honduras. It was didn't see anything but the same four walls for about 4 days, so being
Of
sick.
course, yeah, just being ill. You were just sick.
And I didn't leave the house for about 6 days. So yeah,
Mm.
real fun stuff. What was fun though, on New Year's and Christmas, the whole city like bombarding of like fireworks. Think of the most crazy amount of fireworks you've ever seen in like England, and then 10, 50x. I don't know. Absolutely mental.
Really?
But the interesting thing is, it's illegal to do it in that city.
Wow.
Like my father-in-law was like, "Yeah, this is insane, isn't it, Tom? Like we just literally go out and watch them all because it's all crazy." And he's like, "Yeah, do you know it's illegal to have like to do fireworks in the sea?" I was like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, I don't think anybody listens."
Clearly, yeah.
I was like, "I don't think so. No, absolutely insane. They were absolutely loving it, absolutely mental." But yeah, we're back in the
How
UK.
was how was it? I'm assuming that nothing in Venezuela's affected anything or affected anything for you at the time because it's only just happened, hasn't it?
No,
You're
it
back by
was
now.
we did talk to some Venezuelans in Argentina, and they wanted it. What has happened? They wanted that to happen.
Yeah, it's interesting. I saw a lot of the narrative online. Obviously, it's like people are just sort of saying, "Oh, Trump's just doing whatever he wants." And I actually read something or saw something that said that very thing. That was like, "Is anyone asking the Venezuelans what they want?" And they're all like, they're glad they're all supporting Trump coming in. And it's just funny how the world can't wait to jump on Donald Trump and say he's done something bad when actually the people that it would actually affect saying it's a good thing. I don't know. I know nothing about it. I'm not going to get all political about it. I don't fucking know. But I was
Yeah.
just interested because I didn't know if you would have been involved in anything around that area part of the world.
We spoke to some people, and obviously, like, yeah, within Latin America, obviously my wife's family and stuff is very much, let's say, on the nose and in the know of what's happening,
Mm,
with certain things and what they tend to want to happen. But luckily,
yeah,
in Honduras, it's not they don't have massive oil reserves, so they're probably not gonna get
yeah,
invaded. Um, but I can't wait for 20 years for all the movies to come out. So of the American
yeah,
invasion. So yeah, that'd be good, wouldn't
yeah. Crazy, isn't it?
it?
Did you? Yeah, the whole Barack Obama comparison video came out. You know, when Barack Obama did the video where they killed Osama bin Laden, it came out. The comparisons again, it was like Trump talking about how he took him or whatever. I was like, for fuck's sake. Oh, it's
Literally.
funny
You've
how he
seen all the
talks.
comparisons about like almost word for word of obviously it's like it depends on where you're looking for media wise. The word for word when they went into Afghanistan or into Iraq and
No?
each kind of phase you have lots of different people saying the exact same phrases of how they gradually went in without really kind of like telling why they're going in.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they're there for the oil.
Yeah, literally. Yeah. Oil and gold. Venezuela got oil and gold. Yeah.
It's like, no, we're there to get the people free. It's like that as well. That's just a fortunate side effect of what we were trying to achieve. Yeah, very strange.
Crazy.
But anyway, mate, we should vaguely talk about fitness, I guess. It's 2026.
We should, yeah.
Don't know. Don't know. What is so we had some bad news about is it Pal Dwyer? I think that was a very unfortunate thing. Don't
Is it I think his name's Patrick, isn't it?
is it
Paro Dwyer.
oh, is his
Yeah.
name Patrick? I don't even know. I liked his content. I kind of grew stale on it when it was yeah.
Yeah, so I tell you what, let's talk about that, and then we'll talk a little bit about like one of the things me and Mike have been talking about with some of our coaches this week about similar thing, like you just said about content going stale. So remind me of that.
Mm. So yeah, I think so. Obviously, incredibly sad. It seems like a genuinely nice human. But yeah, let's look at it from a slightly pivot because I used to like his content when it was mainly just calling out like fitnessy people and stuff, and then it took on this mantle of slightly holier than thou. Like
Hmm.
I can shout about or talk at or go after any fucker, and it became the same thing,
Yeah.
just trying to go on a larger scale. Um, it didn't really reinvent itself. It tried to progress into the mainstream, but about forgetting where his position is or was
Hmm.
within maybe his industry, or that's why I stopped because I was like, who is this guy? I'm not looking for this guy's opinion on like like predatory politics or anything like this. I'm just like, you know about fitness, call the fuckers out for being shit in the gym and what they're doing, and if they're doing unethical or kind of etiquette things in the gym and stuff like that. Sound. Once it got past that, I was like, I'm out. This is not great. But what was your point then?
Yeah, it's just that there's a lot of people I think who are known just for doing one thing. And what happens is that it's a little bit similar to what you just said about people just your content become very stale. And I think that on Instagram, certainly what I'm seeing a lot at the moment is there's nowhere that people are sending people to in terms of other long form content. So the reason I think people feel stale with content, like I think he was a great example of this, is that I don't think he had YouTube and I don't think he had other things to send people to. I think it was just Instagram. It was just like these videos where they were all the same video, all the same type of video. Um, and there was no next step for people to take. So it's very easy for that content to feel stale because it's just these little 1 minute sound bites the same that are the same every single time. I think Joey Swall's very similar. It's like, yeah, get it, Joey. All right, mate. You call people out for being shit and being idiots in the gym. Yeah, I get it. But it's like I'm not gonna buy I'm not gonna buy anything you offer because there's no depth to you. It's just you making videos about people that get annoyed in the gym. All right. Like I think content these days can come because of the nature of Instagram, the nature of the way that content is going and trying to grab attention and keep it. It's just like it's like I followed that Tommy Armour. Have you seen the Tommy Armour, the Australian dude? Tommy Armour is the Australian dude. He eats whole eggs. He eats the eggs whole. He just eats them with the shell on in public and videos himself eating them in public. And obviously, the people's reactions are like, "What the fuck's the guy? Like, look at the guy. Look at that guy, right?" And then he eats like onions on planes and eats like whole broccoli heads just like as they are, just to get the reaction from people. And it's quite funny the first few times you see it because his face is there going like he's eating this fucking onion, or whatever. He's crying, and like I followed him and I watch it for a couple of weeks, and you find it funny, you laugh a little bit, and then you go, "Yeah, okay." Then you can just unfollow him because it's just like it just all right. I've seen it 1,000 times now. Um, And I think that's one of the biggest problems that coaches face is that they just rely on Instagram solely and their just content goes so stale. And like you just said, the reason I bring it up is because you said about stale content. It's a real problem in our industry at the moment with Instagram. Real problem.
I would say so. Yeah, I certainly. It's a weird one. Yeah, I don't know whether it's obviously coming off a month of being refreshed or like
Yeah.
having eyes on different industries. You can't help but obviously being like, I guess we're to a certain extent entrepreneurial in certain aspects and like looking at our industry. You can't help but like look at other people's as well and like
Yeah.
how they do things and how those expedition people were making money and what was happening about all that kind of the cruise lining, all that kind of stuff. It was yeah, interesting to take a little step back and look at all of that stuff and what's interesting about what they do and how they get excited about certain things and what content they could make or anything like that. So, which by the way,
Mm.
some that I sit there and watch people's content, but some of the expedition people could absolutely kill it on the stuff that they were doing. I'm sure people would just sit there and just mong out for 5 minutes and watch stuff about
Yeah.
whales and like learn about it. I would.
Well, it's because it's like a unique insight as well, right?
Yeah.
They've got a unique insight into it. So that's why you'd watch them. Um, so yeah, and that's the problem that coaches don't do online is they don't provide their unique spin. They just say the same shit. Like he's not gone there and gone. So whales have got these fins and this tail, and they'll make this splash in the water. Like it's
Yeah.
like coach going calorie deficit, lose weight. They've gone into their unique things. Like you said, you knew as a professor, you knew about his research. He was saying, "I'd never seen this before." Like they're explaining as they're going along. Again, as they're seeing it with you, they're explaining their experience of it,
Mm.
their unique take on it. Yeah, it's just crazy. The coaches are just fucking saying the same things everyone else is saying. Um, yeah, it's mad.
No, Daniel. Yeah. So I don't know, from an aspect of my first talk on Thursday in the group, is very much about setting up the year. Is there a way or what in terms of content or something from the start of the year that you think most, or what are you telling your coaches to do at the start of the year? Are they planning out something? Are they like, all right, you're going to get your whole 2026 and like plan out every single bit of it? What's the first steps of like, I guess you're in the first week now. People should be doing that of sorts.
All the calls I've had today have been with people that have been me a little bit for a while, been me for a good year at least. I think most of them. I've had to tell them pretty much all to do the same thing, which is get back to basics, plan out your week, plan when you're doing certain tasks, when you're doing certain things. I was like, because you've let it slip towards the back end of the end, they've all gone, yeah, no. Things like content creation, like doing it on a whim, just randomly, like not actually planning time into their week to film it, to edit it, to come up with ideas, to think about it. You have to be very, very good at content to do it on the day and to just wing it. You have to be very, very good at it. You can do it, you just have to be very, very good at it. And what I said to these guys was that if you look back over when they were successful, when they saw the biggest uptick in clients, it's usually at times when they were planning, preparing, and sticking to these weeks that they were doing for months at a time. And what you tend to notice a lot of time in November and December is it starts to waver. That diligence to sticking to the week and sticking to your schedule and all that sort of stuff. And it does in the corporate world. People start, they don't work as long hours, the Christmas parties, and like, it's normal, right? It's fine. But I think that people are looking often for this big magic thing that, is going to make 2026 incredible and amazing. It's just like, nah, just go back to basics. Just plan out your week. What are you doing this week? Don't really know. Right, well, there's a problem. Straight away, it's like, before I give you stuff to do, like, what's your week look like? What are you doing? Um, yeah, it's just it's as simple as that. Like, and I said this to all of them. It's like they're doing the equivalent of doing what their clients do, walking into the gym with no plan, no structure, and going, right, I'm going to get fit.
Yeah.
Well, well, what? Going on the treadmill for 20 minutes? Like, we've done that, but did that last January. You didn't fucking do anything, did you? It's the same thing, right? And people don't like hearing it because they want this magic solution. They want this magic problem, the magic thing that they've never done before. It's like, no, no, you've never done this for long enough before. That's the biggest problem. Um, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, from a coaching point of view, for what people hopefully should be doing, it's a great using, I don't know, the first quarter for the clients that you currently have, use it as like a reassessment or a kind of reset, or if you feel like you've got a bunch that are kind of spinning the wheels, which I certainly have, and I've encouraged every single person to book in a call over these first 3 months, even if
Yeah.
they haven't done for a while. Because yeah, I think this year is very much about, hopefully for a lot of clients, a lot of coaches, thinking about the quality of service, how they can raise that and keep the people in for as long as possible and run off those kind of battles. But sit down, reset. What did that person want? What did they achieve? What do they want to achieve? What's realistic, is going to be the biggest thing. And setting that out together. I don't think I think people will get overawed if they started playing out the perfect mesocycles, and going from one to the next. I think you should plan out the two kind of mesocycles, not like a giant macrocycle. I think you should always have two that you're going into. So the one you're in and the one you're going into, that should be what the minimum essentially, or the expectation for me of what people should have in the bank. So whatever they're training for currently, all right, Dan's weak as piss. So he is currently training strength and we're just focusing on lower body strength. Cool. All right, for the next phase, ideally, he's probably not going to be doing lower body strength because we're going to have to maintain that. What is his key goal? Is he going to be like, is he going to try and get some more endurance kind of reps out? Is he trying to try and do a little bit of hypertrophy? He needs a bit more mass. So those are the things that I think people will need to just keep on top of, which I don't think happens
Mm.
more than likely. It sounds basic, doesn't it? But it's definitely something you can reset and do now. And if somebody's just coming to the end of their phase, just sit down with them and be like, "Oh, I'd love to have a call with you next week." Perfect. All right. Yeah. Okay. Cool. We don't normally do that. Oh, yeah. Okay. Cool. Um, go through that. I'm sure people have the time. I'm sure they do to go through, have a call, and just talk shop with your client and make them feel a little bit more value than what they would have previously.
Yeah.
Um, which yeah, I think is a big thing that people should be doing in 2026. But those are
Question I get, Tom, which I think you'll be able to answer quite carries on from the back of that, is that I want 2026 the year to be that we bring coaches back to doing CPD, where they actually learn to be better and learn some
right.
knowledge. You know, like, and this is coming from me as someone who, like, again, like, look, I I think a lot of coaches looking more towards a business mentor than they're looking towards an education provider, and I'm like. No, I'm there to help you when you're good at your job and you don't really know the marketing side of stuff and you're not really clued up with the how to build the personal branding, how to maybe create some of the systems behind the scenes, whatever. But I need you to be a really good coach. I need you to be a fantastic coach first. And I got asked the other day by someone. Obviously, I'm a little bit out of it, but they were like, "Oh, where would you go? What would you do to kind of be a better coach or to learn more about being a coach?" And I was just like, was worrying that you're asking me that because surely you should know like where to go with that and kind of what things to do. And so what are the best sort of like educational, I don't know, certain, not to say certifications, but maybe places to go, things to do with that sort of stuff? Because again, I've been out of it for a fair while now. I don't know. I've not kept up with as much of that stuff.
Because that's a weird one, isn't it? It depends on what your cup of tea is.
Yeah, well, I would your cup of tea, Tom. What would you do? What would you be doing? Don't care whether that.
Because that's the thing, right? Because when we let's say, because I agree, and obviously part of my niching is that I explain the world of, um, training everybody basically as best of the ability a coach can do, kind of the gem pop, to an extent to be
Mm.
athletic, and then but I will quite happily, very happily point people in the direction where I think they should get more knowledge base from, and but like go and learn from these guys because they're way better than I am. I'm a really good generalist and can like dip my toe in certain aspects, but yeah, you can go into certain big deeper dives. I will still. There's certain places like, all right. Let's put in perspective stuff I'm actually considering doing, um, which is just fun. Um, I think 292 performance. Um, this is they're going to be performance based as well, right? So 292 Performance are like I don't know whether they're doing they do certain um kind of education stuff, but maybe it's more for like case studies and looking at like football players and stuff like that. The lad who runs
Mm.
it used to be in the England setup and does a lot of stuff there. So he does a lot of privatized stuff now. Um, Altis is still awesome for kind of running and athlete development. Their lifting is shit though. So there's definitely much more of like a running development thing. I would look at is it track? What's the one that I like? Not track life. Oh, I can't remember it top of my head. There's a guy that's recently started working with um, a lot of football players, like Kobe Mainu and a lot of guys up there. I
He's got a lot
can't
of time to
remember.
train, to be fair, hasn't he? So
He's got a lot of time to train, so. But there's that lad. I can't remember his name. But they're good. A lot of their stuff that I can see is really good, and probably one of the ones that I think people should look at massively. Um, Another one. I don't know if they've got a lot of courses, to be fair. There's a guy called um, Wilmot. Is it Coach Wilmot Performance S&C Athletes Authority, which is really cool. That's a
right, yeah. I
nice
think
one.
I've heard of that one. I think I've heard of
That
Athlete's
stuff
Authority.
I've used a lot. But they're an Australian brand.
Mm.
And they have facilities and they're really good at just all their stuff is good. They're like the Mike Boyle CFFC of
Yeah.
Australia. That's what I kind of deem them as, and they have like good coaching courses and stuff like that. As for other stuff, don't really know, but I would implore people to go towards those more than anything else.
Yeah, I just felt like when we were, certainly when I was an online coach, like there was just always a lust for wanting to learn more and know more. And I think that there seems to be this huge disconnect now. It's more about like say, oh, I want more clients, I want more leads. And as much as when I was online coaching, like obviously we wanted that. It was more so like if the theory was if you were the best coach, you knew the most stuff and could get the best results for people, you get the most clients.
Yeah.
And I think that it's the last lost now. I think going into this year, it seems really, really lost. It's all about who can shout the loudest and stuff like that. And I just worry that, like, say, when I got asked that question, I was just like, okay, like, I'm glad someone's thinking about that, but not many people ask me that question. So that was the concern. Is like the continued education stuff is really important. I think. Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
and unfortunately, the continuing education stuff, probably because the rise of your industry has happened, so they've obviously
yeah,
pulled a lot of money away from the normal continuing professional development, which has left a sour taste in um, like people like my industry. It's like, okay, not as many people want to come and upskill because they're like, oh, I know that. I've seen that on Instagram. I know how to do that. It's like,
mm,
but how do you know how to implement it with that person and actually go through it all? No, okay,
yeah,
that's the difference. But what do we know? Yeah, because we used to be
yeah,
like I
yeah.
was on fucking CPD every 3 months, I swear.
Yeah, exactly
But
that. And I think that was the thing is like you're finishing one, and then a few weeks later, right? What's the next one? What's the next one? What's the next thing you're doing? Um, yeah, I don't know. I just find it something that fascinates me because the like I said, it's just it's that desire to learn, isn't it? It's that desire to want to know more, and I just don't think many people do. So like again, not to I don't want coaches just trying to do this just because you do it, but like obviously with the stuff that you do with the power and speed and a little bit more of the apply metrics, understanding that is like the reason that stands out is because no one knows it. Like no one's looking at this stuff. Everyone's just going 3 by 10 muscle gain, fat loss, calorie deficit, and it's like why don't you try and learn more about stuff? Like learn more about these things and how they can actually you can niche down effectively by just having more superior knowledge to other people. And then, like you found with your stuff that you know, it's like, well, it translates over to, well, I know about power and speed, but I can still help triathletes because guess what? I understand the fucking basics of physiology, but I also know how those elements actually can help triathletes be better and be stronger and be more injury resistant and
Yeah.
resilient and all those things, right? And I just don't see many people talking about this stuff, and then they wonder why they blend in and they sound the same as everyone else and why their clients leave them. It's like, well, it's because you don't provide anything unique or different to them. And I think that when me and Mike certainly were doing the coaching stuff, I think we used to take the piss out of bodybuilders and take the piss out of these people, but we could back it up with our knowledge, where we'd be like, well, here's how we know different. Here's the results we were getting with people that knew different. And I think a lot of people are trying to do that, but they don't have the results to back it up or the knowledge to back it up. They just tag someone they know and go, oh, but so and so said this, oh, go and fight them. It's like, no, you stand up and you fight them. You say your piece, right? And just don't think coaches know as much anymore. I just don't think they do, which
No.
is a shame. Um,
Okay, as thought of another two with David Gray, not singer.
Bad to say.
I like his stuff. Very much
So
about
do
film.
I. Yeah, it's good singer, classic, classic.
And then obviously, I feel like um, one of your clients, what's his face, fucking loves cuffs and Michael Golden.
Paul Stando.
Paul Stanley, there you go.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, with the cuffs and the mechanics and the stuff like that. It's
yeah,
very much the 0.0001% that need to know it. I would say you'll get you'll get a lot further quicker knowing the shit that I want to teach you, but it's very cool and flashy and fun stuff to know. I think it's very much more peer ego stroking, some of that stuff.
yeah,
But I think you need to know a fair chunk of it as well, from a basic standpoint.
yeah.
Just some basic mechanics would be fantastic. Go do because even I've done one of Golden's courses.
Mm.
Whoa. Even me. Yeah.
But yeah, I think look again. I think that with that though, like you say, you in my opinion, you're then in a good place to comment on it, right?
Yeah.
Because you've done it and you can go, well,
I
this
was
is what
like,
I
I've
think
done
it's
it.
useful for.
I've
This is what I think it's
sat on a
not. Yeah,
panel with a
yeah.
lad, and like we've gone backwards and forwards about what we think is important, and I just have a different opinion of what I deem of my clientele, what they think is important.
Yeah.
So yeah. And then, but David Gray's good for rehab and stuff. I'm not massive like stuff in the rehab space has kind of passed me by a little bit. He's the guy that I've seen the best stuff from most
Mm.
recently. Um, Seems to be a lot of quacks still. There's still people doing the same fucking thing that we when we were qualifying. I'm assuming FMS is. I still think people should go and look at foundation things that are like big cogs and cemented in our industry, like FMS, stuff
Mm.
like that, and have an understanding of what it is. I teach a couple of like lectures on it in the coaches group because I went through
Yeah.
it and I was like, I think this is important for you guys to understand because you might be in a circumstance where people have done this and you need to use that score, or you need to know what baseline is. And
Yeah.
if you don't have a screen, use this
Mm.
or use an adaptation of it. And they'll be like, "What? Why do I need to? I don't screen anymore, guys." And it's like, yeah, you need to know what baseline is. You need to know what
Mm.
uninjured Dan is. Like, if Dan came to me as a client, I need to do an assessment on him because I need to know if he gets injured, where I need to get to him back to. That's why you do a screen, really,
Yeah.
not. All right, well, I'm looking for all these deficiencies. No, just find out where their normal is. That's what you're looking for. But again, you would know that if you've never done any CPD. Um, yeah,
Mm.
programming is a big one as well. I feel like I get asked about programming all the fucking time when I'm in the groups. And why'd you select that? Why'd you do that?
Mm.
But I feel like that's endless hours of looking at stuff and
Yeah.
reading at stuff
Yeah, I think that's also a bit of like trenches in the trenches, isn't it?
in the
Trenches in the
trenches.
trenches.
Yeah, what
Yeah.
works more than anything else. And don't get me wrong, all that stuff you can go pay for, but all that stuff is generally out there for free if you look hard enough. Um,
Mm.
yeah, which is crazy, very crazy. I can't
Mm.
think of the other lad. He's been training Kobe Manu, and I can't remember his name. Um, I'm sure there's some posts with him. Kobe, Kobe,
Come on, mate. You gotta tell us who he is now.
Kobe. Uh,
Kobe. There's only one Kobe. Oh, I'm wearing Saks as
Speedworks.
well. Aaron's
Speed.
sacked as well, isn't he, mate? So Code Manu's back in a team you watch.
Yeah, he'll probably be back at two. Speedworks have a mentorship, which I've always,
Speedworks training.
yeah, um, good guys, as far as I can see. Again, it's
Mm.
all Karim Benzema, Kobe Mainu. Some other people I don't know who they are.
Who are they? Let's have a look. Jonas. Jonas, is that his name? Yeah.
Jonas, he's the
Jonas Dodu. Julie Dodu.
he's the main guy, isn't he?
Marvin Rowe.
Who
Not
am
heard of any of
I?
these people.
Anyway, their stuff looks fairly decent.
Yeah.
I haven't dived into it that much.
Nice. Well, there you go. I'll pass on the information. Thank you.
Cool.
Thanks, Tom.
Right.
There you go. All you coaches should be doing more of that. All of you. Never stop learning.
All
Never
of you.
stop learning.
No,
Like again, but I like even I get it sounds stupid, like not like oh I'm better than it, but like I still read books about like how to scale businesses, not because I want to scale mine. Do you know what I mean? Like genuinely, I'm not sitting here going, oh, I want to do that, but the stuff that I'm reading is like stuff that I think is if I can just read one book and it just helps someone improve something, I'm great. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, well wicked. Like, I've done what I needed to do. Yeah, I just think sometimes we need to remember that, and I think that no, I just don't think enough people are doing it. To be honest, just my honest opinion.
no, generally not. They'll look at me like I'm fucking insane when I'm talking about certain things. No, just fine.
But like even like when we talk about the biomechanics stuff, just finish on this. Even when we talk about the biomechanics stuff, right? Is it's kind of like the actually, do you know what? Like you should just know the anatomy of the human body. Like you're a personal trainer. You should just know bones, muscles, insertion points, origin points. You should know like even when I was doing my exercise today, I was doing my hip internal rotations a little bit dodgy. And when you do these movements, it looks like you're doing external rotation. But it's like if you actually understand the hip, you will notice internal rotation at the hip. My foot might be moving externally and away from midline. But I was like, like little things like that, and PTs go, is that right? And you're like, yes. Yes, it is right. How do you not know these things? Like, but they don't. But they just don't. And I think that's where sometimes the certainly disconnect between physios and PTs as well exists, is because physios just know anatomy
Yeah.
and PTs just know exercises. And it's like there needs to be that middle ground. That's where someone like you, I think, and again, Paul Stein does this really well. A few other people I know do it well. Is like you bridge that gap where, well, if I get injured, I don't need to leave you because as a PT, whereas a lot of PTs lose clients when they get injured because they don't know, can't help, they can't do the rehab, and it's just interesting how, um, again, like just people just aren't trying to do this stuff. They're not. Yeah. Anyway, keep going on,
You.
but yeah,
All right, buddy.
yeah.
I'm very tired. Apology for the lack of low energy, but we're all good.
We'll be back. We're back next week.
Ooh.
I'll have been to. I'm going to be a short game wizard after tomorrow. Got my lesson
Oh.
with Dan Grieve tomorrow. Well, today when this comes out today.
That'd be exciting
So
for
yeah,
you.
don't worry about
I'll
that.
be interested to see who was the better Dan at chipping.
I think we know. Well, I'll try my best.
So he'll
Try my
be
best.
he'll be straight away. He'll be like, mate, stop getting your fucking pitching wedge out. Be a man. Chip with
Get
a
your
60,
flop shot out. Get your
chip with
flop
a
on.
60
Yeah.
degree everywhere around the green, like your mate Tom does. Just be amazing with one club before you can be amazing with 17. So it's
Yeah.
fine. Yeah. That's
Perfect.
my
There we go.
view. It's easier to be really good with one club than it is to be like, really good with 3 or 4.
You're probably not wrong, mate. You're not wrong. Well, you are wrong a lot of the time, to be fair.
Very true. All right, guys. Thanks for listening. We're back. We'll catch you next week.
See you later.